to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. We got a lot to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. So it's time to crush.
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And it's Tuesday. It's time to do our thing. We got a game drop inside the Game Pass swing. You know what it is. It's RPG. Just go in there and check it out on me, because I'm the King. Now, if it's your first time finding the channel, I'm the King. And I'm your new best friend. I drop videos daily, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We get it on over here. Now, if you got a chance to see me today on Frontline Gaming Streams, well, nothing over there. Nothing over there. Oh, it's this guy. That's right. Soccer. While I was playing Doom the Dark Ages, pew, 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 pew. That's what it sounds like in my head. But we were having a ball. I was running it up on these bums because that's what I do. Made it up to chapter 13. I'm going to finish that game by the end of the week, because by the end of the week, we got more games to play. Now, there's a little known game called DS2 coming out this week on Thursday. And I got to give a shout out to my PlayStation brothers. Thank you for beta testing this game, because after a couple of months, it's gonna come out where? In PC. And you know how we do. Steam, slide that over to your boy. Now, when I have my Xbox ROG Ally X, Death Stranding 2 will come back to who? Me and you. You guys don't gotta lift a finger. Let them do all the heavy lifting. Let them pay for the premium package. Let them get the fake PVC, fake statue ass in the face dudes. You ain't got no statues. You got plastic vinyl collectibles. That's why it's called PVC. Ponies violated crazily. PVCs, ponies violated crazily. That's you guys. But that's what you're gonna get, because that's what you're worth. Plastic, vinyl collectibles, whackness. But actually, go do that. And then when the game is released on sale, I'm gonna get it in a humble bundle. I'm gonna get it on the low. That's when I get it. When Kojima bounce over there. So I ain't gotta wait. And Xbox allows me to do that, because why? My Xbox ROG Ally X has Steam, baby. And if you saw the new user interface, you saw what we're working with. Steam games are in your library. Yes, sir. It's up. PlayStation dudes, it's over for you dudes. Checkmate.
And then what? Checkmate. Oh my God. Oh my God.
We've bailed the mouse. It's over. I told you it was going to be the swiftest, fastest, most terrible demise. But let's get into these topics, because these topics are topics that you guys actually want to talk about. You want to talk about the death of Xbox again. Am I right? Now, I'm going to give you the difference between two different ways on the way some people spin a story. Now, one is going to tell you Microsoft is also planning thousands of job cuts that will impact other parts of its business, along with, Xbox and stuff like that. And then another one is going to tell you a different story, right? They all pretty much have kind of close to the same sources, and understanding that Bloomberg has announced this like a week ago. Now, I know a lot of times we get into the weeds when it comes to this stuff, because since a lot of people want to become fake stockbrokers and analysts and stuff like that and want to know how much sales consoles have when they don't have any skin in the game. When I'm telling you don't have any skin in the game, you're a consumer, right? when you go to buy a burger over at McDonald's, you're not caring how many employees was laid off or how many stores that they're closing. All you want to do is just get your burger, eat your burger, sit down, shut up, and leave. Actually, you don't even really care what the wrapping is made out of. A lot of you don't even care what's going on inside of it. You just want to get your fix and get out of there. Well, gaming is pretty much the same way. And I'm not telling you, don't care about the people that are actually there making games and doing stuff. What I'm telling you is stop the hypocrisy. There's many different areas in your life where you don't give a damn about anything but consumption. A lot of you are those rude consumers that go to the store and you don't care what the worker is telling you. I just want this, and this wasn't done this way. You're that individual. So you don't really give a damn in other aspects of your life, but this fake concern when it comes to anything that Microsoft is doing. Listen, this is industry-wide. This is not just isolated towards Microsoft. This is not just isolated towards Xbox. No, there have been layoffs in other companies throughout the whole industry. Actually, on a whole, the industry is down 18% of its normal workforce. And we're looking at a greater gap when it comes to the end of this year. I'm thinking that we're going to probably breach the 25% mark by the end of this year through all the companies globally. This is a different trend, what we're seeing here. With the invention of AI forms the deletion of jobs. But a lot of the conversation is centered around Microsoft and Xbox, and I'm going to show you the other aspect of this. You see how this one is titled? Report Microsoft suffering major layoffs next week. Xbox suffering major layoffs next week. Microsoft declines to comment. Managers within Xbox are expected substantial cuts. That's a different way for you to look at it. It's a different way for you to view it. It's a different way for it to be quantified to you. It's offering a softer touch for somebody that is an Xbox-centric person to go and read this article, right? Whereas you have Master Chief sitting down on a canister with his head down and his hands down, right? So we expect numerous amounts of job cuts as the restructuring going forward with the next generation console. Now, what I expect is you're hearing people talk about that the Xbox consoles won't be offered in other ecosystems, other regions. That's not the truth. What they want you to do is buy direct from a distributor, right? And then you buy from Microsoft, and the consoles be shipped out to you. That's been happening lately. That's been happening in a lot of instances to a lot of places. The global strategy when it comes to this Series X and S, I thought was the main faux pas when battling the PlayStation 5, especially when you're launching only weeks apart. So this current console that's coming out next year, that console is going to have more than a 2 to 3 year head start on what eventually may become the PlayStation 6 or may become some type of PlayStation device. Now, I'm not talking about the handheld. I believe from the iteration of the Xbox console that's going to fit under the television, because we do know the Xbox Asus ROG Ally X console comes out, the handheld comes out this year, at looking at a standpoint from $600 to $800, and that's probably in line with what I was trying to explain to people early on. That device itself is something that's intriguing. But I'm talking about the standalone console that's going under the television. I believe 6 to 10 months you will have that PlayStation handheld. It's not going to be as robust or powerful as one may think, but it's going to be a device that is going to be very successful, in my opinion, and it will cause the PlayStation 6 to be delayed, and therefore the name change will happen, and maybe it doesn't come out at all, because by that time Xbox will have such a huge head start and the landscape will change in a manner that isn't befitting the company of PlayStation. Sony probably won't be able to recover. Going into the future, they are ill-equipped to deliver more than one tentpole title a year. So I don't think with that level of output, it will be substantial enough to maintain any type of ownership to the number 2 spot, where Nintendo's the number 1 spot, Microsoft is the number 3 spot when it comes to console sales, and PlayStation is the number 2 spot. But then when you come to finances, then you got to say Microsoft, and you're going to have to say Nintendo, and you're going to have to say Sony's last there. So again, I just wanted to bring this to you because we're going to have layoffs, and then you're going to have people spinning it like, oh, these layoffs is only isolated to Xbox and Microsoft, where that is an absolute farce. And you know, like I know, these ponies are grasping at straws. Hear ye, run out to the stores right now. Go get your Xbox, Microsoft VR headset from MetaQuest for the low price of $400. Cheaper than when the PlayStation dropped out, right? And the PlayStation joint was just regular straight VR. This is AR VR mix with a little bit of a twist. What you don't need is a cable to link in. This is wireless, B. Allows you to play easily. It allows you to jump in for the free. If you need Game Pass, got it, B. It's in the box. 3 months for them. 3 months. Game Pass. Make it happen. It's right there. Now, let's say you're a college student, right? You got $400 to spend because you got your per diem. So you got your ramen noodles over there, but you don't got a TV, right? And you're not into the social thing right now. You're just trying to focus on school, but you want to get a little bit of gaming in, right? So what you want to do, plus, you can't afford that big screen TV. So you run out and you go get the MetaQuest VR Xbox edition. It's sleek, it's black, it has green highlights. It looks fantastic. Even the controllers have the buttons like an Xbox, right? How much Xbox can you get? What you need, what you want. VR, Xbox got you. Now you can play all those wonderful games there from MetaQuest. That's great. Do that. Have fun. But you also have Game Pass. You don't need a TV. Sit down, log in, use that. You don't even need the console. Make it happen. I highly recommend this device. Me, myself, I'm going to get this device. Why? Because you don't have to think twice when you get 3 months in the box for Game Pass Ultimate. There's nothing better than this. It's the ultimate in service. This is what happens when the $1 trillion company eats $1 billion company's lunch. One discontinues their headset and the other bets on the winning horse. Shout out to Xbox and Microsoft for knowing what to do. Don't waste money. Just bet on the right honey. Now, you're going to get a lot of fake stockholders and shareholders telling you how Xbox is doing bad and how they're going out of business and how they're not producing consoles in this region, not knowing anything of the business at all, just literally talking heads that don't get up outside of their room. They sit in their room, they make a video, they read some blogs, and they actually act like they're intelligent when they're not. They don't have any connects. They don't have any insiders. They don't have nobody that they talk to. They do a lot of this, right? A lot of this. And they just want to run it up. Me, myself, I go to these shows. I have working relationships. If you need further proof, I'll show you proof. But at the end of the day, I do have these conversations. I do meet these individuals. And I was going to go to the Death Stranding event, but when I was booking all my events that day, it had popped up at later on in the night. I'm glad I didn't go. But when I went to go book it, it was already sold out. So they had a couple of bookings for it, and they weren't like having the media thing, but they let that stuff leak out anyway. And the people that did tell me what they went there, they told me what they saw. So I was cool with the stuff that I was doing. And that happened in California. But it would have been cool to have further extensions in Kojima Productions to further that relationship from a journalistic and a business standpoint to get a greater understanding of what their vision are. So when we go to Tokyo, we're pretty much going to have a little bit more of a conversation with Kojima Productions. Not saying Kojima himself, talk about Kojima Productions. But Death Stranding 2 drops this week. haven't even finished Death Stranding 1, haven't really delved deep into it. So I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to get to that because I have other games that I'm getting to. But you got a lot of people thinking that this is a good thing, like Xbox is losing workers. It's a restructuring over regions. It's a restructuring with the game plan on next-gen consoles. Consoles is coming out next year. Right, so you will have a console that's under the television next year. You will have a handheld that's releasing this year. You have a VR that released this year. The momentum that Xbox and Microsoft has going forward is insane. You have an update to the cloud servers that is happening now. So by the time that the new console does come out, you're going to see a new ramped X Cloud that, mind you, is still in beta, right? Once that storefront and all that stuff launches, it's crazy. But if you've seen everything like I've seen everything, you get a chance now to have different stuff. And I know you're going to say, what do you mean by stuff, King? And I'm going to tell you, I'm talking about Steam. You see your Steam games popping up inside your library. If you're part of that beta program, which I'm part of that beta program, you get a chance to see the curated list of all the games that you have, right? Now it's going to turn into, how much space do you have? The 4 Tera is on sale right now for $429 at Best Buy. You can add that to your console, and your console turns into a juggernaut, a beast, if you will, a machine that will not be denied, but you have to try all the games that you buy, right? So we're at a point right now where Xbox is doing everything that we said they was going to do. I told you it's going to be a quick ass checkmate. It was going to be so fast and so quick that it will make your head spin. You wouldn't have seen it coming. You couldn't have predicted it. But when I told you certain things was happening and people was like, King, you're capping. And I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, I've understood this part. We've talked about a lot of things. They strategically fortified themselves with the Azure cloud system. And in doing that, they had the AI component to it. That AI component to the cloud service, when they teamed up with OpenAI to have ChatGPT actually boost and move everything to a different paradigm. The paradigm shift was the moment that they realized that they could place Xbox everywhere. Remember, they was going to make their own Keystone device. They changed that into the Amazon Fire Stick, reached millions of homes with the Amazon Fire Stick. Now that happens. Now you say, damn, okay, what else they're going to do? Well, they made partnerships with televisions, right? You have LG and you have Samsung, the leading televisions in the market. Sony sell television. Well, how come your app isn't in there? How come you're not pushing your services? Because you're dumb. You're dumb, deaf, and blind. And you're arrogant. So Microsoft has the leading competitors in your space doing what you can't do. With Game Hub, with Samsung, and also I think it's Game and Apps or Game and Play on LG. Then you have the streaming services with GeForce now and Amazon on Amazon Prime. Xbox is attacking it in a manner that you've never seen before. Then they have hardware. You thought they was going to make their own hardware, produce it, ship it, stockpile it, and all that. No, they team up with the leading PC handheld in the market. Take it, fix it up, put the operating system, and get that to you. The same way they did with the VR. The VR is out right now, $399. Gonna make it happen. The handheld is coming in October. Make it happen. So they're making all these devices, and the thing that's coming up under the TV, that's going to be wholly driven by them. So we're at a point now where software services and hardware are all operating and humming like a well-oiled machine. Well, PlayStation is telling you we can only do one tentpole title a year, while we're worrying and hoping that third-party games sell on our device. That is limited to a small scope and a small ecosystem. Where the Xbox ecosystem is so robust and so large that it is inclusive to the point that you guys are even waiting for Xbox games to go to the PlayStation. If the PlayStation is not going to take advantage of the PlayStation 5 Pro, well, why don't you let Xbox do it? Forza Horizon, anyone? Listen, I'm not telling you what's happening. I'm telling you it happened already. It's over. You know when somebody tells you that a stock, by the time you hear it, it's already done? By the time you found out about Bitcoin, it was already out of your reach. It's already out of your reach. You was never viewed as competition because you wasn't competition. Now, I don't need to say hashtag no PlayStation 6. We're going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. I don't need to tell you that. My merch store tells you that. Welcome to the fourth wall where the king destroys all. I'm 98% right. That's in the store. You want to walk around with that? Let that happen. I'm 2% wrong. That's in the store. Go get that. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. That's in the store. You see, where they won't help you and won't facilitate things for you, I will. Now, this is Xbox Frontline News. If you thought I was bending the knee on something that is going around industry-wise, you're smoking. There's absolutely no reason for me to do that. The whole industry is in a downturn. 18% is down. At the end of the year, you might be looking at a 25% deficit. My thing is AI is taking all these jobs. How does the industry recover? When you got Nintendo talking about AI generative stuff could be useful, PlayStation already using it, and we already know Xbox is using it because they showed you Muse. Get it together, people. Y'all thought AI was one thing. It turns out to be something totally different. But I'm going to do like I told you I always do. And I'm going to get back on Doom Eternal on Frontline Gaming Streams where I game every day and we run it up on these bumps. You can jump in the Discord, we can have fun, we can game together. But I'm going to do like I always do, and I'm going to do what winners do. Try to play the Game Pass.